What's up, Sag? Welcome to your Love Looksie. This is going to be a love-focused reading, okay? It's not going to resonate with all of you guys, so definitely check out your Moon, your Rising, your Venus, and your Mars if it doesn't, okay? I'm going to be looking at the energies of you and the person that you are thinking about or dealing with, or if you're single, then it'll be the person who might be coming into your space, okay? Remember, they're not going to resonate with all of you. We'll look at the advice, the blocks, and the most likely outcome, which Sag, it looks like a lot of you guys have something that's very promising. I will say though, it does feel like a lot of you guys are in this very kind of stagnant, kind of stuck place. I think what needs to happen is just a little bit more communication and clarity on both parts. And this looks like it's something that could be very promising. At the bottom of the deck, you've got the Page of Pentacles, which Page of Pentacles is all about planting seed, right? When we talk about Pentacles, it's a very stable energy. Maybe some of you guys are connecting to an earth sign, Virgo, Cap, or Taurus, but I'm going to try not to speak to signs as much. I just want you to pay attention to the energy, okay? This is about really planting seeds. This is about a message coming forth. This is something that's rooted in stability. A lot of times, if we're talking generally, pages of pentacles can be children, of course. Pages are usually children or like a young or it's just like a young energy, not as an evolved energy. But it can also be about, learning. Now underneath that, you got the Ace of Pentacles, which is really beautiful. Probably my favorite ace because it doesn't matter what we're talking about. If it's love, money, or whatever, it's like pretty much like a sure thing type thing. So let's get into the cards. You guys are starting out with the Hanged Man, the Fool, and the King of Wands. Again, you've got that stuck energy. This is Pisces energy. You might deal with a Pisces, an Aquarius, a fire sign, Leo, Sag, or what's the other one? Aries, which you do have Aries coming up again, so definitely could be Aries. But I think that this is a time where a lot of you guys might be feeling like you're not really sure where you stand with a certain someone. Hangman asks us to look at things from a different perspective, to find different answers. And right, whenever we get the Hangman, it's also like, okay, girl, you need to surrender to this. This is a moment to surrender to. But of course, that just dropped all the way to the floor. It's about looking at things from a different perspective. It's about being a little bit more open-minded. Maybe this is something that is, again, it feels like it's something that might not be going the way that you're used to or the way that you thought it would, but I think you just need to be open at this time. Yeah, the Strength card is clarifying that. So that's Leo energy, but that's also about like just kind of keeping your head at this moment. Some of you guys might be experiencing frustration because it might be that you are here trying to kind of be like, hey, what's up? Like, what are we? And maybe you just aren't getting enough feedback from the other person. Four of Cups, this is a dissatisfied energy. So I don't know, it just feels like a lot of you guys are kind of feeling like, ugh, what is going on here? You might even be overthinking it, right? Might be staying up late at night thinking about what is actually going on. And then you got the Hangman underneath that. So definitely I feel like a lot of you guys are stuck, not really knowing what to think about a connection or what to do with this connection that you do have already with someone. Now the Fool card is coming up next, which we know is all about new beginnings. It's about taking a risk. It's about, stepping in uncharted territory and really just like putting yourself out there. The Fool card, this person packs light. They don't carry a whole lot with them. So that means even baggage from old relationships. If this is something that you want to do, I think it's really important that you carry that on, because what it feels like with this is like the other person that you're dealing with, they might be someone who like they have a life, like they're very much occupied with work and other things. And I think that's part of the appeal for you guys with them, right? Why you guys like them. But there might be things that trigger certain things within you that maybe went wrong in the past. For instance, if someone is always unavailable, maybe your go-to thought is like, oh, they must be with someone else, they must be cheating on me. So just really be mindful of how you think, because that can dictate a lot of things too, right? So you got the Six of Cups, which is clarifying the Fool. So for some of you guys, this is a new beginning. Again, this could be someone that you've already previously dated or someone that you're kind of in that weird kind of situationship space with. Ooh, Four of Cups is showing up again. There is soulmate energy here, which is beautiful, but remember, we don't always end up with our soulmates. And I'm someone who believes that through our lifetime, we have several soulmates. Like, I feel like I have several soulmates. And I think the core or main objective of these soulmates is to teach you different lessons and to kind of mirror yourself, right? But it doesn't mean that you're going to end up in a relationship with all of them. But it feels like this is someone where there's a connection. Connection's definitely there, but I don't know that either one of you guys know really what to do with it at this time. Now, King of Wands energy, I love because that's your energy. Also, this King of Wands is hella fine. Hello. Hello. But this is you guys stepping into your power. So, you know, sometimes when we get into this space where we're like feeling unsure about something for so long, it can actually start to mess with our self-confidence, right? So some of you guys might be in this place where you're like second guessing, like, ooh, well, what's wrong with me? Nothing. I think this is a time where you'll be stepping into your power, feeling a lot better, especially come Libra season. Just because it is a season of fun and charm, and you know, each time we're in a certain season, we kind of take on the characteristics of that season, right? And so I think that when we are coming out of Virgo season and going into Libra season, you guys will be feeling a lot more confident, a lot more able to move forward, that type of thing. Death. Interesting. This is Scorpio energy. This is death. We see it coming. This is like the ending of something. There's something that's coming to a close. So this could be something within you and how you decide to handle things. This could be, I don't necessarily feel like it's the relationship. That's the funny thing. Like some of you guys might be just dealing, you know, saying bye to something, but I actually don't. I feel like this is death to a process or the way that you look at things or the way that you feel about a situation, but I think it's okay. Knight of Pentacles also coming out. So I think this is like, one thing I can say is the rate in which this relationship is developing is much slower than what you're comfortable with, like, or used to, right? So even that could put some certain doubts in your head because you're like, what's up with this? Like, normally I make my connections really fast. Like, we know, you know what I mean? And maybe you already knew how you felt about the person. You were very sure, but maybe this person, it just takes them a little bit extra time to come around. Also, there's that earth energy again, which was at the bottom of the deck. So you might be dealing with earth sign, which, honey, they're just slower. They're just slower. They're very, very, they have to be very sure and calculated and meticulous and all that kind of stuff. So this is something that I think is happening a lot slower. I think that this is a time that's really important to like gain perspective and kind of like flex your patience. I think Sagittarius are naturally a little bit impulsive people. So this might be just like universe kind of being like, yo, slow down. It's all good. Just because it's not happening right now when you think you're not in charge, like it's good, right? Now we got the Emperor, the Page of Wands, and the Justice for your person's energy. So we've got Aries and Libra here, right? And then we've also got Page of Wands energy, which I actually think is how they're kind of looking at you. I think the beautiful thing about you guys both bring something to the table. First of all, I will say this Emperor energy, you guys could be connecting to an Aries, but this is someone who is like busy and they're like about their life. They're about their business. They're about all that kind of stuff. And this is someone who may not be the best at expressing emotions, right? The Emperor is about business. He's very stoic in his face when it comes to like feelings, right? Because if an Emperor based all his decisions off feelings, I don't know, it might be harder, you know, to rule, if you will. So I get like this person, they probably hold back a little bit. This is someone who could be like, can read as standoffish, right? Four of Pentacles is someone who's guarded, someone who may not be, you know, as expressive, someone who really holds on tight to the things they value. So they have a set of morals. They're very, you know, there's things that about them that are very much set up the way that you like. It's just, I don't feel like they're being as expressive as maybe that you need them to be in order to move this forward. Now, Page of Wands is beautiful because I think this is how they actually see you. And not to say, oh, like you're just a young ass little kid, but I think where they are so serious in their life and maybe, you know, the things that they're involved with, you bring a certain level of play that's beautiful. You remind them that life is fun. They're very attracted to you, right? Page of Wands can talk about that kind of that sexual energy as well. So there's a lot of fun. You bring a lot of balance in that way because I feel like this person is probably more a very serious, pragmatic, workaholic type deal, right? Page of Pentacles. This person might also have kids, so maybe they're just trying to find that perfect balance of, you know, you and them. This could be someone you know, could be married to, that you share children. But what I do think is, I think that you bring certain things out of them. I think you bring a lot of fun out of them. And I think out of you, they bring a lot of a grounding nature, right? You do have all these pentacles and like the things moving a little bit slower, like maybe taking the extra 15 seconds to think about something. This is actually like you guys actually bring really good balance to one another, which is great. And then right next, you got the Justice card, which is about balance, right? Because it's connected to Libra. It's also connected to law. It's connected to cause and effect, really, is what justice is about, right? Justice isn't necessarily like, oh, I'm going to get my justice for me. No, justice is cause and effect. This happened, so naturally this is going to happen next. And that's what justice is. Now, there may be some kind of conflict. Also, this person, I don't know if you guys are dealing with someone who was in a marriage, could still be married. Maybe they're in the process of getting a divorce. If they were married or in a previous serious relationship, they could also be having issues, especially custody issues or something surrounding their kids. We've got those two pages, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. So there could be a little bit of friction in their life outside of you that still affects you. So like if they're going through it with the mother of their children, the father of their children, this could be something that also kind of dips into your relationship because, again, maybe this is why they're not as open, or maybe this is why they are a little bit more guarded or something like that. But I think the two of you guys have a great relationship. I think that there's potential, but I do think there's things that you guys need to talk about because in the blocks you have King of Swords. King of Swords is communicative. If he's nothing else, he's communicative. If he's nothing else, he's honest. If he's nothing else, he's strategic. It feels like there are key conversations and things that you guys are leaving out. And I think just because for a lot of people, when you talk about the serious things, the serious aspects of a relationship, a lot of people feel like that takes the romance out of it, but that's not necessarily true. If this is something you guys want to move forward on, you have to have these talks. You have to have these serious sit downs. And I think that maybe one or two of you guys just aren't maybe necessarily ready for that. Chariot card is connected to Cancer energy. Of course, it's also about a victory moving forward. It's about being balanced. It's about going on the journey, right? And it just feels like you guys aren't quite at that place. I don't know. It's like, I feel like you have the itch more to say something than them because I do feel like they kind of are preoccupied. Doesn't mean they're too busy for you, but as far as they're concerned, like I think they're so busy with work and probably whatever this extra shit is, like again, it feels like someone who can be dealing with custody things, which of course is not going to resonate with all of you guys, but if that's the case, it feels like they've got so much on their plate that, of course, their priority isn't to talk to you about this because as far as they're concerned, oh, it's fine. When we're together and we have a good time and it's fine. But you, on the other hand, is like, yeah, when we're together and it's fine. But then when we're not together, I don't hear from you. And what the fuck is that? How can you go days without talking to me? You don't miss me? That kind of thing, you know? Now, the advice to moving forward is the World. This is the closing out of a major cycle and the opening of a new one. This is a huge completion and a huge beginning to something else. This also talks about travel. Maybe it'll be helpful for you guys to maybe take like a little day trip, a little weekend trip, or just have time alone in an effort to spark things, have that time alone. Now, I talked to you guys in September reading about the Mars going retrograde and how that might affect your sex life. And so that might have something to do with it too. Maybe you guys are feeling distant. So this might be a good time to work on bringing things back together. You got the 8 of Pentacles that's clarifying that. Star at the bottom of the card or bottom of the deck. Yeah, there's a need to add the spark back. There's a need to have the conversations. There's a need to put a little bit more focus on this without trying to control the situation. you guys working together to figure it out, because I just feel like there's a lot that's being left unsaid. And then now you guys are trying to figure it out, but then where does that leave me? I don't know. And then there could be this like back and forth thing, right? Now, ultimately, the most likely outcome is the Lovers, which is beautiful. Look how passionate they are in this deck. I love the Lovers card in this deck. So there's a lot of love to go around. There's a lot of love to be had. It's so funny because the Lovers card, so that's Gemini energy. You guys are their polar opposite. And look, they've got, homegirl has a tattoo of a bow and arrow, right? That's y'all, the Archers. So like you're showing up in the card. There's a lot of potential, but this is something you guys have to work at. I think this person has a lot of outside things that kind of get in the way, and they aren't necessarily communicating that to you because I think from their perspective, everything is fine. But you might want to communicate that to them. Knight of Wands is clarifying the Lovers, which for me, Knight of Wands, okay, this could be the dating card. Now, I hope this isn't meaning that you guys are going to step outside of your relationship and do something silly. That would not be good. I think you're better off talking about it. And then what this Knight of Wands energy ends up being is, again, going back to with the Page of Wands where I said, adding more play, adding more flirt into your relationship. Sometimes people get into relationships and get into marriages and stuff, and then everything that they loved about the person they take out of it because they're like, oh, I already got them. No. If you're going to be in a relationship with me, I don't care how long we've been together. You still need to flirt with me. You still need to make me feel like I'm some new piece of ass. Like, you still need to keep the same energy. And so for you guys, if you're in something that's getting kind of stale, feeling a little stagnant, feeling a little strained, or like you guys are a little distant from one another emotionally or physically, whatever, this is a good time to add that spark. Because the one thing that Knight of Wands does, he goes after the action. He has the fun. He goes for the spark. He does all the things. And look, underneath that, you got the Eight of Wands and you got the Ace of Wands. So there needs some fire back. Add your Sagittarius fire that only you know how to do, only you know how to add, okay? Now, Romance Oracle, Romance Angel card, you got Keep an Open Mind. It says your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. I think they do in a certain way, but I think that's also the things that really brings balance to you, and it's really, really beautiful. But it also requires you to handle them differently and handle this relationship differently, right? I think it's one of a kind. It's not something you've had before. So, and then you got let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally, okay? So you control you. You do what you can do to bring the life and the spark and the fun back into the relationship, and you really can't worry about the other person. I think there's potential to get things back on track if they've been feeling a little loopy. Again, Mars retrograde, sex drive and stuff, relationship shit, to be quite honest, might be a little bit all over the place, okay? But everybody has free will, and if you guys choose to work on this, this is something you can do. I understand that a lot of you guys are dealing with someone who kind of holds back feelings, and that could be very difficult. So not saying this is going to be easy necessarily, but effort can be made. You're going to have to be a little patient, right? You got all these pentacle cards. Like, you're going to have to slow it on down. Be a little patient, okay? I love you guys. If you would like a personal reading, definitely reach out to me at shesvibeytarot@gmail.com. But please go to my About tab first. I've got my menu of services and pricings. If you guys would like to do a live session with me, you can book with that link all by yourself. So I love you, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Bye, Sag.